What is good, YouTube world? It's Jay Coffee Talk back again with some hip hop news for you guys. Everyone, get up in the comments. Got some major news here. There seems to be some tension, some issues between Westsidegunn and Shady Records. Now, off the rip, there's been a lot of speculation about the deal between Griselda and Shady Records. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. But what happened was Griselda, was at the BET Awards last night as they were nominated for Best Group, which is huge, man. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment as well. But he hopped on Twitter and tweeted, "I wonder, do Shady Records even know we're nominated for an award tonight?" So clearly, he's stating there's some frustration here. He's not happy, some negative feelings towards Shady Records. And I gotta say, man, I've said this in a lot of other videos. Shady Records, Eminem, just does not do a good job when he signs artists. You know what I mean? It's like if you look at the roster, you go over the history of that label, things turn out bad more often than good for the artists. So I didn't watch the awards. I don't know if Eminem and Paul Rosenberg and like people from Shady were not there, were not showing support to Griselda, or what exactly the situation was. Anyone who did watch the awards, let me know if you guys saw them there. But yeah, man, like that is not a good sign. And then Griselda Records not fan page, the official Griselda Records page tweets, they respond to it. They quote the tweet and then they share this Jay-Z gif, where he's doing like the finger. He's saying no, like this is all bad, man. This is crazy. You know what I mean? Now, as I stated, people always speculated about the deal between Griselda and Shady, myself included, because it was very, very strange. Now, they did sign a good deal with the label, where they were allowed to release independent music, like projects outside of their Shady deal whenever they wanted. And that's huge freedom. A lot of artists signed to labels, they don't get that. That's not normal. You know what I mean? The label wants a piece of what you're putting out. But Griselda, as we saw, these guys, Benny, Conway, Westsidegunn, all of them, they drop a lot of projects, which I think is dope. Some people think they drop too much music, but they drop multiple projects. They were with Shady for like 2 years before their Shady debut came out, and I just found that funny. And there was just always kind of a weird vibe I got, like they weren't really rocking with them. I don't know how to quite explain it. I mean, we saw them at the BET Awards that one year when Eminem spit in the cypher and was dissing Trump and all that. They were there chilling with M. But other than that, we just didn't see the two of them together a lot. You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong, there's pictures and stuff out there, but like Griselda was always moving around on their own. And I don't know, it just always felt weird to me. Like, get in the comments and let me know if you guys agree. But I don't know what's up. Maybe they feel, as I stated, they're not getting proper support. It feels like, Eminem and Paul Rosenberg and Shady and stuff, yeah, they'll tweet about them and post on social media about like Griselda, but we just haven't, I don't know, I feel like they didn't talk about them enough like you would if you signed artists. You know what I mean? Like someone who's on your team. I don't know. I just, and I'm an Eminem fan, but it just always felt a little off, a little strange to me. And a lot of people, that I've heard, talk about this situation, always said that they felt like they weren't a good fit to them, like that they didn't fit over at Shady. Now, when it comes to that, stylistic wise, I don't necessarily believe that to be true, that they weren't a good fit. But I mean, if things you're unhappy, things aren't going well, then you're definitely not a good fit. You tapping in the comments, let me know if you feel like they fit in with Eminem in Shady Records. But the fact, artists are signed to a label and signed to someone else for management all the time. That's not like a foreign idea. But when I seen Conway, Westsidegunn and Benny signed that management deal with Roc Nation, and seen them with Jay-Z a lot. And I seen Benny say something too along the lines of like, I bet Eminem wish he signed me too, because with the Griselda deal, from what I understand, it was like he was, he's a part of Griselda, but he wasn't necessarily signed to Shady as a solo artist. I don't know. It's all kind of confusing, but I don't know, man. I feel like when they signed with The Roc, it almost felt like, and some of the interviews I've seen and the things that they were saying, I kind of felt like, you know what? I don't think they're happy with Shady and with Eminem. I feel like they wish they would have got down with Hove off the rip. And, I feel like Hove probably wishes he signed them to The Roc as well, outside of management, like straight to the label as artists. But, these dudes, what they did, their career, Griselda, is amazing. What they did independently, they have a crazy cult following. Like, they have a huge fan base. And, the recognition that they got for themselves just off their own, hard work, sweat and tears, whatever, you know what I mean, is amazing. So with Eminem being the first one to, I mean, we don't know that he was the first one to reach out, but I guess must have been the most attractive offer at that time. They might have just took that offer to get their foot in the door, and the fact that M said that they could release music independently might have, sweetened the deal. But I don't know, but something's going on here. There's some kind of issues. And, for Westsidegunn, the kind of dude he is, the way I see him handle himself, for him to take this to Twitter, I don't know, you know what I mean? I feel like he'd be the kind of dude that wouldn't hop right to social media with this stuff. So to see him acting like this, and he's always kind of been the de facto leader, I guess, in a sense, kind of somewhat their manager before they were officially in the industry. So to see him say this, I mean, this is a huge deal. Like, something ain't right. And Eminem, Shady Records, Paul Rosenberg, no one has responded to this yet. And, kind of like I was saying in the beginning, though, what I want to touch on also, how Shady Records and Eminem, they have a bad history with artists. Like I said, go down the list. Stat Quo, he had issues. His project never came out. We seen what happened with Slaughterhouse. Glass House is shelved. Eminem and Joe Budden kind of got issues with each other, even though they kind of pieced it up. But now we saw the new leak happen. And also, I'll get to that in a moment. But, Joe Budden and Joe made it clear the Slaughterhouse vision, like Shady Records and Eminem, didn't do it justice. And he kind of was more putting it on Paul Rosenberg, and I've heard other artists say that. So if Paul's the problem, M really needs to think about, what he's doing as far as like having Paul involved with the artists, you know what I mean? Because I've heard a lot of people not be happy with Paul Rosenberg. But they had another dude named Bobby Creekwater. His project never came out. Cassius, he was with Shady. He dropped an EP and then he was off the label. Like, you can go down the list. Look at even Royce the 5'9", who's M's right-hand man. As Slaughterhouse, he was signed with Shady. But when it comes to independent, like as an artist, as a solo artist, he's not signed to Shady Records. He took a deal somewhere else. I forget which label it was. I can't remember if it was Empire or I can't recall, but he is not signed to Eminem as a solo artist. Think about that. You know what I mean? Think about that. That's your right-hand man. And as a rapper, as a solo artist, you want to go elsewhere. Something's up there. And the project, that first album that Royce worked on with Eminem, Rock City, there was issues with that as well. And M was supposed to be heavily involved in that project. I think executive producing it. So I don't know, it just kind of seems like sometimes for Shady Records is where artists go not to thrive, but to fall off. The majority of the artists, there is some success stories, but not like that, man. Like, their batting average is really, really bad. But we haven't seen Conway or Benny say anything. Like I said, M and Paul or any of the Shady Records accounts, no response. This is wild, though, Griselda, one of the hottest movements in the game, and this is a bad look for Eminem, especially too. M's just coming off the whole situation with this leaked version of Bang leaking out. I wonder if this has, Griselda feeling some kind of way too. You know what I mean? If maybe Conway wasn't too happy about that, because we saw, what Revolt was saying. Like I said, that like with everything going on right now in Revolt, out there fighting for the cause. And then Eminem, like they said, yo, man, you're being a distraction at a serious time, which, obviously I don't believe Eminem leaked that. Someone leaked that who doesn't like Eminem. But this is just, this isn't 2 L's in a row for Eminem, in my opinion, if you ask me. So you guys get up in the comments. What do you guys think about this? Where do you think the issue started? Do you think this has been a problem? Do you see Griselda getting off the label? Like, what are your thoughts on this as a whole? I want to know. You know what I mean? Any new viewers out there, make sure to sub to the channel, smash the like, hit the notification bell. We talk music, news, sports, and more. Always got to hear what the people got to say. It's Jay Coffee Talk signing out. Griselda and Shady Records, man. Will this get worked out? What are y'all thinking? Catch you on the next video. Peace.